On this episode of Geek Dad Life, we're going to review Hasbro's new Ghostbusters Plasma Series Peter Venkman figure. While Ghostbusters Afterlife is set in present day, well after the events of the original Ghostbusters film, Hasbro's first wave of Plasma Series figures is focusing on those original core characters from the first film that we all know and love, and I can't blame them for doing that. And as a Ghostbusters fan, I'm really thankful they did, because we have all four original Ghostbusters with photorealistic head sculpts, great articulation, awesome accessories, and we also got a great Zool-possessed Dana Barrett and a Gozer figure. So really excited to have this line that's going to be hitting mass retail hopefully very soon. I'm reviewing every single one of these figures, so after this review, definitely click on the links at the end card to take you to all the other reviews of each one of these figures. And remember to hit like, hit subscribe, and click on that bell icon to be notified when the latest episode of Geek Dad Life drops. Hello everybody and welcome to Geek Dad Life. It's your host Jay Glatfelter here, and it is a very exciting day for Geek Dad Life because we have a full set of the Hasbro Ghostbusters Plasma Series, Hasbro's high-end collector line, 6-inch, highly articulated, highly detailed action figure line. And was very excited to find out from Up in the Attic Toys. I'll hold up his business card here. He runs a shop in Florida, and he's the same gentleman that I was able to get that Peter Venkman vintage retro figure re-release from. And he was able to get me a full shipper case of the Plasma Series figures ahead of its release date. And while I already have a case on order, I couldn't pass up the chance to get an early look at these things, a first look at these figures, and share it all with you here on the internet, people that watch this channel that love Ghostbusters as much as I do. So I'm going to be reviewing each of these figures, and to the first, I'm going to go in order of their kind of what they're numbered on here. So first is Peter Venkman, then Ray Stantz, then Egon, Winston, Dana, and Gozer. And then I will do the Build-A-Figure of Vince Clortho. But it is the internet. You can choose your own adventure. You can do this in any order that you want to do, because each video will be posted up per character. So feel free to skip around, pick who you want to see, or do all of them in order, or mix them up however you want to. Okay, so first up is Peter Venkman. I mean, maybe it's cliche that he's my favorite character. Bill Murray's one of my favorite actors of all time. And something about Bill Murray's likeness has always led to trouble for toys. You know, especially Ghostbuster toys that are out here. And I was really impressed with how this figure looked up close when I first saw it. I think they did a really good job of capturing the Bill Murray-ness. So the shipper box comes with two Peter Venkmans. So I have two sealed Peter Venkmans. Don't know what I'm going to do with the second one. Maybe I'll do a contest or something to give it away. In terms of quality, they both look pretty good. I don't know which one I would say is better. I think this one, the eyebrows are done a little bit better than this one. So I'll definitely keep in this one to open. And yeah, so this is what the box looks like. We've seen this already. We have the Venkman patch down here on the bottom. Ghostbusters logo. Ghostbusters kind of stitched on. It's made to look like one of their flight suits. You have full visibility to the figure. Proton Pack, his special unique accessory, which is the ghost trap, and then the Vince Clortho his front leg, I believe. He comes with this piece right here. The back of the box shows all the other Ghostbusters. Now, these aren't pictures or even artwork. It looks like kind of maybe they're digital renderings of these figures when they, in the pre-production process. So that kind of looks a little weird. And then something I love about these boxes is this side right here. I had not seen this personally until I opened this shipper box. I think it's a really neat artwork. Like I would absolutely buy a poster that had something like that on it. So I think that's a really neat touch that they added to these figures. And then the sides, just some kind of blueprints of a Proton Pack. Not much there. Doesn't need to be much. I'm an opener, but I think they still look really good if you're somebody that likes to keep your figures mock. A similar box size to a Black Series figure. And for those that are curious in terms of comparing box sizes, it's a little bit longer than the Power Rangers. A little bit shorter though, just by a hair maybe. And it is slightly thicker than the Power Rangers box, so the Power Rangers Lightning Collection box. And then comparing it to the Black Series, Black Series is, even smaller than the Plasma series, so, and thinner as well. If we had to let's see, compare it. Yeah, so it is definitely the biggest of the boxes in terms of quick comparison here on the fly. All right, well, let's open this thing up. I'm so excited. I have not taken any of these out of the box yet. Venkman's my first one, so let's open him up and see how he looks. So there's 2 pieces of tape here. Gonna cut. The hang tab wasn't even pulled back yet. Just a quick look back here. That's awesome. You have an Ecto 1, like a lot of cool blueprints, but they're kind of red blueprints. That's really neat. So it's an empty box here, so it's actually, the plastic is there, unlike the Black Series figures, which has like an external plastic on it. So take that off. Let's get this guy out of here. No strings holding in, so that's always a plus. God, so cool. I got a peg back here, so that'll hold the Proton Pack in place. Oh, my Ghostbuster logo's a little smudged. Oh, well, that's alright. I'm sure I'm going to have several of these Peter Venkman figures before it's all said and done. On the Mattel ones, it was a clear hose. This is just a painted yellow plastic. How good the articulation is. So we've got ball jointed arms, double jointed elbows that connect with the elbow pads. A little stiff though. There we go. Ball joint at the wrists. Oh, yeah. Swivel cut past the ball joint at the shoulder. Again, double joint at the elbow pad here. Ball joint at the wrist. It's a gloved hand. There is your hip joint. It's not quite an ab crunch, but you can get some posability there. And then double jointed at the knees. Which got to... Ooh, these joints are tight. Venkman's usually unique in that he doesn't tuck in his boots, so that is true for these figures as well. So his is outside of his boots. The rest will be tucked in. The accessories out of here. Let's get his Proton Pack out. So that you do put it on over the straps there. So let's just get these all out. Let's get the trap out. Pretty nice detail. Hollow in the bottom, so very light. Let's look at the Proton Pack up close. So Peter's cyclotron will have the red flashing there. I love the Alice frame on the actual Proton Pack. That's a great detail. Very accurate. Has it's kind of a little prong there that it can go onto. Got very similar to what a real Proton Pack would be because it's kind of that triangular shape, which is cool. The cord is pretty movable. Don't have too many concerns of breaking, but plastic's more about like how does it age over time. But that feels pretty. I wonder where the. Okay, there it is. Oh, it looks like it comes out the back too. Don't know if that's intentional or not. So you're able to put it on that way by the looks of it. So let's give that a try. Let's see how easy it is. Let's get this guy's Proton Pack on. His arm through there. His head through there. Connect it in this back peg hole that we looked at. Alright, that's pretty firm out. Now, the pain in the butt's probably going to get this snapped back in. There we go. So that wasn't such a char now, was it? Alright, there's this Proton Pack. Key for the articulation is, does it allow Peter to hold this in like the iconic Proton Pack pose? And the hands seem like they are made to hold it that way. So things I love about this sculpt is the head sculpt shows a lot better in person than it did over, it's like official pictures and at Toy Fair. And I don't even know, maybe even better than it's coming across on camera. Bill Murray's likeness is a really hard one to nail, and I think they did a pretty darn good job on this one. So I think the head sculpt's really good. I like the Proton Pack system. I feel like it looks better than the Mattel figures did. I think the Diamond Direct figures had a lot of great detail. They were a larger scale, though. Those are like 7-inch, maybe pushing like 8-inch figures. It was a little difficult to get the hands posed or on there just right. But it is able to hold his Neutrino wand just like he does in the movie. So I think in terms of what the articulation needs to do, it does it. And it does it well. The only thing that maybe just doesn't come across, I don't want to say it comes across bad, is just the untucked pants. It looks a little big. It looks a little big on him. But I'm not gonna knock it too much for that. That's a bit of a nitpick. And then also the painted hose doesn't look as good as the kind of the clear hoses that they use on the Mattel figures or the Matty figures. But other than that, I like the details on the Hasbro figure better. Not a lot of paint applications. I think where they need to do it well in the face, they did. Again, bummer about the Ghostbuster logo there getting cut off. Not a ton of detail in the pack, but detail where you need it. And yeah, I think this is a really good figure. I think at $19.99, which is what these are going to be retailing for, I think that's a darn good figure. And having one in the 6-inch scale is so freaking cool. And then last but not least, we have our Vince Clortho leg. So we will save that for later. All right, that'll do it for this review of Peter Venkman from Hasbro's Ghostbusters Plasma series. If you like what we do here on the channel, hit like, hit subscribe, and click on that bell icon. We are reviewing every single figure from the first wave of Plasma Series Ghostbusters figures from Hasbro. This is number 1. You can watch it in any order you want to. All the other figure reviews are up right now. I will have an end card with a whole bunch of links to those figures, as well as you just go to the channel, youtube.com/geekdadlife, or just click anywhere, click subscribe, and you'll see a full list and rundown of those figure reviews. So, Venkman is signing off, and we're going to go jump to review Ray Stantz. Until then, hasta luego, and goodbye.